Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Sunday the 28th of November. Well, the racing's awful, so what I've had to do, I've had to go for a slightly different bet. I've gone for horses that I fancy to win the race, but just to up the price, I've actually gone for the horse to win, but to win by at least so many lengths. I know some of you might not like this bet. It's up to you if you have the bet. I do like the look of the horses, but it's absolutely dreadful days racing, and I will be having a bet, and this is the bet. So whether you follow me in is completely up to you. But a quick recap on yesterday's performance. Well, it started very well. We had an 18 to 1 second, a 15 to 2 second, and then unfortunately quite a few of the other horses came unplaced. And I think that made something like £4 something. So it would have been a very nice bet if obviously at least one of the others would have come in. Well, the 66 to 1 chance was travelling very well for quite a while. I don't know if you noticed that. The something de Ruhet. And then, but obviously when push came to shove, it actually folded very quickly. So I'm a bit disappointed about that because it was travelling well. Then I'll quickly go on to the Charlie Winters and flat Cap Callum selections. Well, what I did, I don't know if all of you saw that video. There wasn't as many eyes on that video as there was the main video, but I mixed a couple of his selections with my selections. Well, in the end, the first selection, the one that I really liked was Berwick Law, and if I'm being honest, they never gave it a chance of actually staying in it. They went off far too quick with the horse. Well, I'm not quite sure what they're planning with that because I did want it to actually lead, but I did say soft lead. What they do, I think it went 8 lengths clear, and did something daft like that. It's like, really. So the second race, I had 3 selections. Well, the great stuff is we had an 18 to 1 winner, Merhib. Pretty much up with the pace throughout, and then asserted, turning for the bend, won at 18 to 1. Then in the end, we had a 50 to 1 that actually took the lead, turning for home, but it didn't quite stay. Unfortunately, it faded to 5th when they played on the first 4. But the good thing is, the flat Cap Callum tipped horse, Visibility, then ran on for a place, which, all right, we didn't make a profit on the bet, but I believe it made £2.90 something, I think it was, with a total stake of £6.30. However, the football bet, the over 2.5 goals that I recommended came up, and that made £36. So in the end, I think it was about a £45 day return if you had everything. Unfortunately, it was about a £55 to £60 stake, so it was a losing day. But on the bright side, sometimes my losing days on a Saturday are 0 returns. So the fact that we had a good involvement on a lot of things, and still heading towards £45 back in his pot, or back in his pocket, sorry, at the end of the day. Yeah, it's a losing day, but I am not like I'm pleased in the end that we got the return. A losing day of about £15. So let's get on to Sunday's selections. Well, what I've gone for 3 horses that I think have got a very good chance of winning. Don't get me wrong, there are question marks, but all I'm looking at is the horses that they've got to beat, and there are question marks over those as well. So this can only be placed with Skybet. So what I've had a £10 stake, I've had £1 patent, and then just to boost up the doubles and trebles, I've had a 75 pence Trixie. So these are the 3 selections. The first selection is Perseus Way to win by 7 lengths or more at 6 to 5 in the 12:40 at Leicester. I believe it's pretty much got one to beat, and that's the Milton Harris trained Polyphony. Well, don't get wrong, Polyphony and Milton Harris are quite a big danger because Milton Harris trained the horse scriptwriter that beat Perseus Way at Cheltenham. However, Perseus Way has got a very, very high level of form coming into this race, with I think it's a racing post rating of 117. Well, that's going to be tough for anybody to beat that. However, it's got to win by 7 lengths or more. It's not backable at its original price of 1 to 4, in my opinion. So I've got 6 to 5 on it to win by 7 lengths or more. If Polyphony is no good, well, I think this horse could win very comfortably, but hopefully by that required distance to get the bet up. The next selection is Just a Dime to win by 5 lengths or more at 6 to 1 in the 1:30 at Carlisle. This horse was bought by the Smiths, Gay Smith and Paul Smith, and it was bought for 280,000. I think it was, I don't know if it was euros after its point-to-point success. Don't get me wrong, it's got a couple that's got to beat still that are quite tricky or quite decent or could be quite decent, but to win by 5 lengths or more at 6-1, I just think it's too big a price because this horse has got to be purchased to be very decent. So I just hope it's decent first time. The third selection is Unit 64 to win by 5 lengths or more at 7-4 in the 140 at Leicester. This horse is by Ben Paulin, and I think it's a 2-horse race, and I can't go against Ben Paulin at the moment. Both horses could potentially lead, which could put doubts about the stamina of the other horse, the Main Danger. The Main Danger is in a bit of form. It did win last time, and it has got Sam Twiston on board, but I do think this horse could potentially be too strong for it. So anyway, they're the selections. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.